About Maurice Roquette. That is his first rushing touchdown as a member of the Firestorm in that young man's career. Double move, deep ball end zone. Devin Nelson, touchdown, ACU. What a throw on the football. More touch on the pass by Tyler Duncan as Devin Nelson makes the catch. Duncan on a 4th and 10. Snap is back. Has plenty of protection. Deep ball, deep middle, looking for Nilson again, and the ball is caught for the touchdown. Free play for Duncan. End zone shot. Turn around, make the catch. His 3rd touchdown reception of the afternoon. Devin Nelson right on cue as Tyler Duncan has a word for the Wayland Baptist bench. This is a handoff to Maurice Roquette. There he goes with speed. 50, 40, 30, 20. Angles of the pylon. 10, 5. Touchdown, Maurice Roquette. House is one. Pater Pop touchdown, Firestorm. A very pleasant good evening to you as we welcome you to the Tower Grill for the Storm Report, Episode 10, live from the Tower Grill on the campus of Arizona Christian University. I'm your program host, Kevin Derryberry, and we'll be joined on the set by my program co-host, Ed Cole, and, of course, the victorious head coach of your Arizona Christian University Firestorm football team, Mr. Jeff Bowen. He'll join us on the program as well. Another jam-packed, action-packed program for you here as we will talk a little college football, of course, for the Firestorm, and we will talk a little wrestling as well. The head coach of the wrestling program here for the Firestorm will join us here on the set as well in studio. Michael Butterfield will be on the program in today's episode. And we will also be joined by a couple sensational players that had breakout games. We'll be joined by Mr. DeAnte Big Body Livingston, and we'll also be joined by Devin Nelson. We call him D. Nilly. He'll join us on the show. And let's get it going here. Robert Nilson in studio. We want to thank Robert for being here. And, of course, Mr. Tim Gosen. This is Episode 10. Congratulations to our victorious head coach, Jeff Bowen. Ed, welcome in, my friend.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Coach. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Mr. Bowen, you know, it was a very entertaining football game at home. You got to finish out the string at home. I think we went 5-0 at Firestorm Field. You took care of business, and you had to do that, and you had to do it convincingly. And when we did that, when it was the dust settled, the number 21 team in the country did enough to move on. And unfortunately, we're not going to move on. We're going to talk about that here because we want to get your reaction. 54-16 win. You guys thumped Wayland Baptist, beat them for the 8th consecutive time, and it wasn't even that close. The game was, they traded some punches with you early on in the first quarter, maybe the first half, but then it was just too much ACU Firestorm. Roll Storm. You guys took care of business, and you took out a can of whooping.
Yeah, the guys played well. It was kind of the bittersweet day. You know, we have our senior day, which is a big day for them, and we had a lot of guys step up and, based on injuries and so forth, and had key performances. And I thought the guys just played well all day. Defense settled down, pitched a shutout in the second half, and it was a fun game.
They did. Let me give you those three numbers. The first one was 54-16. I'm going to just the number. Total offense, 647 yards. Not bad for one of the top 7 offenses in all of the country. That was remarkable. And then you finished at 8-2. You did what you needed to do. Did you think that we should have 2 teams represented from the Sooner Athletic Conference in the postseason?
Oh, being one of the Raiders, I know it's a tough job when you have to look at over 100 programs and pick 16. So you're not going to make everybody happy.
That's true.
And I know some people are questioning, team with 8-3 record getting in.
I question that.
Yeah.
But you know what? In 2015 and 2016, the shoe was on the other foot. We were 6-3 and won the conference, 7-3 and won the conference, and sat at home. So, to tell you the truth, I in my polls, I had them going to the playoffs. So, we're always hoping for something better, and I think we have a playoff caliber football team, but it's not to be. And so we celebrate the successes of our senior class, the winningest football class in the history of ACU, and we start preparing today for Team 9, and we got a lot of talent coming back, and we'll build on that, and reload for 2022.
Coach, when you talked to the team after the game, what did you say to them?
Just that I was proud of them. I'm proud of them. I mean, at that point in time, we did what we needed to do, and that's win a football game convincingly. Mm-hmm. And then we needed OPSU to go out and beat Ottawa. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for some special teams mistakes by OPSU, they actually had Ottawa's number. They were right there.
Did you go to the game, Coach?
No, I watched it.
Okay.
Our staff, we went out and celebrated after the game, and then we
went to Zips, right?
That's where we head.
Mm-hmm. We kind of felt like we would have a contingent in surprise supporting ACU and rooting on the Aggies on that one.
Yeah, never been something I can do where I can go. I just can't do that.
Yeah,
but I did watch it and watched the whole thing, and Coach Majeski at OPSU, he had his boys ready to play, and they played a great game. It's just special teams let them down. Mm-hmm. Other than that, the OD stuff, they outplayed them.
When you put the head to pillow on Saturday night, did you have a feeling on what we might learn the next day?
Yeah, I knew.
Okay,
I knew.
You knew once Ottawa took care of business, we were not to be.
When Ottawa took care of business and Western pulled off the overtime upset to win the Frontier, and Dickinson State did what they needed to do. Xavier did what they were supposed to do with St. Francis and stuff. It was just all kind of falling in.
We got one loss in there. Didn't College of Idaho lose for us? That was one thing that helped us.
Yeah.
But
there were a couple. There were a couple that lost that helped us bump up. I thought we would. If we finished 20th, in my mind, I thought we'd finish a little higher. But still a successful season. Another year ranked in the top 25, and. We're proud of our guys and our program, and I put my head on my pillow and slept like a baby. I'm proud of our guys. I love our guys, and let the chips fall.
That's exactly how it worked. And, you guys definitely put out a gallant effort. You delivered, and your football team delivered. Your coaching staff delivered. The fan base delivered. Everybody delivered there. And we were all optimistic. I think the last word I had for you when I was leaving the field, outside of give me an update on the text, is I'll see you guys on the plane. And that's kind of how we thought we were literally going to get on a bird and head out of town with you guys again. And what a great effort. Just a quick one. Your thought on Tyler Duncan. It looked like it looked pretty grave for him for a moment there. It didn't look like he could put any weight on his lower extremity. And Travis Armstrong did a great job of getting him, putting a Band-Aid on him and putting him back out there. And, he had I thought, a Sooner Athletic Conference Player of the Week kind of performance, over 300 yards, 4 more touchdowns. He was pretty special on a bad wheel.
Yeah, part of Tyler's game that makes Tyler is his ability to be mobile and stuff like that. And it was actually pretty cool to watch him lose that aspect of his game, as crazy as it sounds, because he was not mobile. And so now he had to sit in the pocket and be a quarterback. And I thought he did a really good job of sitting in there.
He did.
He was delivering the ball, completed, I think, like 74% of his passes, played clean, and we had guys step up in a lot of different roles and the receiver core and running backs, and it was just offensively, we're a good offensive football team. Obviously we're one of the tops in the country, and we're going to score points. So I wasn't expecting anything less than what our guys were able to do on Saturday. They went out and performed well.
Kevin, what number 15 was able to do? Kevin and Coach Devin Nelson, 10 for 140 and 3 touchdowns. We were chopping it up, Kevin and I, before the show, and what a great young man. The effort that he put out there, Coach, and Brandon Johnson, 110 yards and a touchdown, and talk about Maurice Rocket, 109 yards, Aiden Quinn, 102 yards. All these players just come up, as you mentioned, all contributed to almost 650 yards of offense that Kevin mentioned, but so many weapons on this offense, Coach, that you talked about. But talk about Devin Nelson in particular and what he did on Saturday.
Well, Devin played extremely well, and we have a lot of confidence in Devin. It wasn't like we thought it was some kind of miracle thing that he he was able to get that done. He's an exceptional receiver. And he stepped in and 10 for 140 and 3 scores. What's crazy is he dropped the first ball we threw to him, and then he settled down and just tore it up the rest of the game.
I'm glad you brought that up, Coach, because we needed something to hit him on. Because he came in here like, he was
eye of the ball, professional catches.
He was on a pedestal.
But 10 for 140 did a great job, and I'm excited for him to finish up the season that way. And now he's got some decisions to make, whether he rolls back here for another year or not.
Coach, quick note on the D. I mean, we saw a lot of new bodies in there. I think at one point we mentioned in the broadcast, Keith Sewell has about, 9 freshmen up front on that D line. He's got a lot of youth there, and we just continue to see Jake Farrell emerge, and just that whole group continues to play incredible football.
Jake Farrell's a
Threadgill. We can go on with all the names, but
the young guy did well, and Jake, I got a glimpse of it today. I think he's like 3rd or 4th in the country in total sacks, and he did well, and all the guys played well up front. We gave up a big ball early on, and then another one late. But other than that, we really played solid. I think they held him to 60-something yards of total rushing offense, and there's just solid performance all the way around.
DeAnte Livingston, another solid performance for him.
Yep.
I think he moved around from the line to linebacker. But we got to mention the hitman, Jacob Hernandez, another 14 tackles for him, Coach. He told us before the game, he told Ed and I, he was looking to get 18 tackles. He finished with 14.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do, where we could find the other 4. Hopefully, statistically, we can find 4
Tim, can you find
there.
4 more?
But I'll say this, that young man's motor, his heart, his attitude, the relentless pursuit to the football is second to none for another incredible young man. But just the fact that he's now the all-time leading tackler in ACU football history, taking that notion from Austin Schleier. Those guys are some good ones in the middle there for you, Coach.
Those are 2 real good names, and put up some big numbers in their careers here, and now they move. They've moved on, and Jake's going to graduate this year, and now it's guys like Liv can step into those roles and make a name for themselves. They can be the next guy to roll 100 tackles in a season. So we're the beauty of us, and I'm excited about us. We're just gonna reload. We're just gonna reload.
Great segue. Next up, we got the off season, if there is such a thing, which we know is kind of a running joke with all of us. But recruiting and then reloading. Your thoughts on that before we part ways here for a couple.
That's
weeks?
what we're doing. I love our guys that we have coming back, and we know it's never going to be all of them because guys make decisions, and that's just a part of college football,
Yes.
But most of them are going to come back, and we have a boatload of talent on both sides of the ball. A lot of young guys got a lot of playing time this year. You mentioned a kid like Rocket. 109 yards rushing, and he's just a baby. He's just a baby. We're playing freshman corners. We got freshman defensive linemen that came in and contributed. Receivers, we got nicked up all year. At the receiving core, and we go into the last game. We only one guy started the last game that started in game 1, and we still managed to.
Malik.
Yeah, I think we had it's one of the top offensive performances we've had here, 640 or whatever it was.
647.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's got to be one of the top performances ever. So
without question.
Yeah, we're just going to reload. We're going to find some mid-year guys to come in and fit some needs here so they can learn the system early, and then we're going to recruit a really good freshman class, and we'll load up for the Sooner Athletic Conference in 22.
You didn't even need your punter Saturday, Coach. You didn't even need Bailey.
Just told him to take the day off.
Yeah, punting totals
There you go,
0,
Sean
0,
Bailey.
0, 0.
Yeah, go sell
All
some
zeros.
Go sell some snow cones or something, buddy.
Coach, I can tell you, I can speak for Ed. It has been our absolute pleasure. We have had a grand time as we do each and every year. We don't like the end to come, just like you. We hate to say goodbye to our senior players and all the personalities and but we know a few things that you accomplished. You guys had a wonderful year. You're a winning football program, no doubt one of the top offenses in all the country, and you got your players to get closer to Jesus Christ, and you develop more Christians here. Tremendous athletes coming back. These guys got stronger in the classroom. Check the box. You guys had a tremendous football season, Coach.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I mean, if you start the year, any year someone says, hey, you're going to go 8-2, you do that your whole career, you're going to take that and walk away with a smile. So finished up my 34th year, and I'm coaching great guys. I love doing this. It keeps me young. I love being around the guys, and I'm excited about, Team 9, which will be my 35th year of coaching, and we're going to get after it. We're going to be a good football team again, So
I was just getting ready to tell everyone, you're 45 years old, and you had to say that you had been coaching for 35 years. It just blew that whole thing right out. The math wouldn't work. Tim's giving us the eye, and we got to break this thing up, right? We got to go.
Yeah.
Showtime continues. Coach Bowen, until next time, we'll catch you here in a couple weeks.
We will talk with you soon.
Always a pleasure. Great
Thank you,
season.
Coach.
Thanks for having us be a part of it.
Thanks,
Jeff Bowen,
guys.
our guest. Don't go away. Storm Report continues right here. DeAnte Livingston joined us, and Devin Nelson on the program. We'll talk more ACU football on the Storm Report right after this. Welcome back to the Storm Report. I'm Kevin Derryberry. He's Ed Cole way on the other side there. And in between us, we've got DeAnte Livingston, DeAnte Big Body Livingston. You might refer to him as number 3. And then, of course, Devin Nelson, D. Nilly, we call him. And D. Nilly, don't forget, book signing right after this program, so hang around for that. But, hey, congratulations, guys, on an impressive win, 54-16. You guys definitely took care of business, and you ended the season on a high note.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a good performance all around from the team.
No doubt about it. Devin, we'll start with you. Career high, really, in one Saturday afternoon. You came to the yard. What was the mindset and the idea for you as you had breakfast and you were preparing? You were in your normal morning warm up. Did anything appear different to you? Did the music sound better? Was the roar of the crowd, was it finer? What was it like for you as you prepared for Saturday?
It was nothing different, really. I was just going out there trying to have fun and do what we prepare for. And Coach Coop tried scaring me a little bit Thursday after practice, saying you got to fill the shoes of an All-American on Saturday, but
that's it.
Yeah.
Fill the shoes of JC7. Over 3,000 yards, over 31 touchdowns. I mean, we have a long list of numbers here for JC7.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin, that was an All-American performance.
Yeah, NAIA All-American that you're referencing, and then you deliver that kind of performance. That was fantastic. 10 for 140 and 3 touchdowns. That had to have been an unbelievable feeling for you.
Yeah, I felt good. It was just one after another. It really never set in. I was just telling TD, just trust me how you trust JC. And it took a little bit for him, but he started throwing me the ball.
And I like to ask this question. It's about being in the zone. We talked about, and we asked Jake Farrell about being in the zone defensively. But you kind of had one of those games where you were in the zone. Can you describe the feeling for us?
It didn't really feel anything different for me. TD was just putting the ball out for me to make plays, and all glory to God, I was just making those plays.
Fantastic.
DeAnte, from a defensive standpoint,
Yes,
I was talking to Jalen Mitchell. We were chopping it up after the game, and I told him, I was like, you guys shut Wayland Baptist out in the second half. I was like, did you guys make any adjustments? What did you guys talk about at halftime? He was like, basically, we told each other to a man, we got to tackle better. We got to play our assignments better. Is that kind of what happened in the locker room? Did you guys change your mindset, knowing that, okay, there's a lot riding on this game. We really got to shut these guys out in the second half and hold them to nothing, and that's what you did.
Yes, sir. So basically in the halftime, we wanted to come out. We wanted to come out on just playing how we play. We know we play a physical defense. We fly around, and that's what we wanted to do. If we wanted to make the playoffs, we had to make a statement. But sadly, we came up short, but I feel like we still made a statement in the end.
DeAnte, I got to tell you, I love the fact that Big Body in here has got a Senior Athletic Championship ring on right here. I don't know how many of your other teammates are wearing that, but that is a good look, my friend.
Thank you.
Granted, it was
really
a year
good
ago,
look.
but I think that ring is fantastic. Coach Bowen, the entire staff that helped design that ring, you guys outdid yourselves. That is one quality piece of jewelry right there. Proud to see you wear that. But 3, for you, DeAnte, your game got better. You progressed. You matured as a player. If you would take us through your progression and how you became this confident young man that we saw just lower the boom on people on Saturday afternoon.
Well, I just trusted the process, and that's one thing Coach Will always preaches, that if he can trust you, he'll play you. So one thing was just I knew that what I had to do was just basically just keep working, and whenever my time showed, I was going to go out there and try to do what I can do.
DeAnte, what is it like playing alongside so much talent that you have there on defense? Of course, we talked about the hitman, 14 tackles, DeMarcus Jones, Mo Powell, Craig Martin IV. We can go up and down the line. Jake Farrell, everybody. What is it like playing inside that defense? Does playing with those young men make you better because of what you guys do in practice? And when you guys are just kind of hanging out outside of practice, you guys are in your rooms or whatever playing video games or just kind of bonding as men. What's that relationship like, and how has that made you better as a young man and also as a player?
Well, first, it's a great relationship. I built a great relationship with Jake, and from the moment we first met at practice at Dream City, it was just a good connection, and just knowing relationships that he had and just how he played before. It's like you got to hold up to his standard. You got to meet him where he's at. You can't perform anything under better than him. You can't. You got to outwork Jake, and that's what it is. With Jake Farrell, we met this season, and it's just, he's very smart. He's a smart kid. He knows a lot about football, more than probably a lot of people know. And just talking with him is just a lot that you can learn. With Craig Martin, me and him grew up when we were younger. And we played on the same Pop Warner team, him, me, and my brother. So we just all grew up with each other. That's just someone I just know, and that's like he's like a little brother to me. Me and Tank, we talk all the time. We're just like I honor Tank as my brother, and it's just like we just got a good connection. We just grow up like we kind of just keep going as together, and we just know that we got a lot of a lot of shoes to fill in for this upcoming season. Replacing Jake is going to be something tough, but we'll be up for the challenge.
Well, those relationships are strong, aren't they, Kevin?
They really are. DeAnte, you had mentioned about playing with those other guys and the bonds that you have.
Yes,
this guy right here, Devin Nelson, he too has a buddy on the football team, and Shea
Right.
Morales. Did you guys help each other? Or did anybody help you in being, for them to introduce ACU to you? Or how did you guys get recruited here? And do your buddies have a part in the recruiting process to get either one of you here on this campus?
Right. Yeah. Like I named Craig, and then Herm, and DeMarcus Jones, they all just, when they knew that I wasn't I wasn't staying at school in Kansas, I wanted to come to somewhere different, and they just showed me the opportunity that ACU had to offer, and it was just something I couldn't resist.
Couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Couldn't pass up, yeah.
What's your favorite part when you're getting after a play? Do you like to decleat somebody? You like a TFL? You one of those guys that like to get to the quarterback every now and then, or is it what's your favorite aspect of the game when you deliver and you know you did something good?
I just like hitting them because it's just like it's just when you see them on the ground, you did that, like that's something that you did, and it's just knowing that I could just do my assignment, but just do it as like a physical force. Just
speaking of a physical force, you realize they gave Jacob Hernandez a unsportsmanlike foul in the game, and I don't know if you looked back and saw that, Coach. And I looked like, to me, it's just like Jacob Hernandez was playing linebacker. That was a routine play, folks, and they lit him up for a 15-yard unsportsmanlike. Mike, I don't know if you've seen this young man play. First of all, his nickname is the Hitman, and he's coming after you. So I don't know about you in practice, but I'm getting out of the way of 25.
Oh, 100%.
I want nothing to do with him, Devin.
Oh, Devin, for you, this offense, we talked about, we throw out all these numbers and accolades and all the stuff that this offense is capable of doing and what you guys have done this year. What is it like playing in this offense, knowing pretty much you can take the top off at any second and just blow defenses apart like you did on Saturday for 10 and $140 and 3 touchdowns?
It's just really fun being in this offense, just all the opportunities we get, just the way we spread the ball around to everyone, and just allow everyone to go out there and have fun, have a day.
Wanted to comment, Devin, on your punt return ability. A lot of times, Coach Bowen and the team put you back there for ball security, and I think you did a great job when you had that opportunity. The speed between you and John Cole 7, I have very similar. As far as being return threats, these guys it's 1 and 1A, so we don't want to get confused there, right, Coach Bowen? But your ability to secure the football for us was big, as we were able to flip the field in many cases.
Oh yeah, Coach Bowen, he just has a lot of faith in me to just be back there and just know that I could secure that, even if I got to fair catch it. But I didn't like fair catching, so no.
But Kevin, how many times did you and I notice when he did fair catch how smart he was when he saw the ball was going to come a certain way, that he would back off and not try to make a play, not try to extend yourself? Devin, you were smart when you saw that. Like, okay, I don't want to really mess this thing up and potentially force a turnover.
Oh, I really wanted those balls.
I know you wanted
but I knew it wasn't the smartest idea to go get those.
So you have the same green light as John Cole, though. Same. I mean, I would imagine you guys have the same set of criteria to work with.
I mean, for punt return, yeah, coaches have faith in us to make the right decisions back there and not put the team in jeopardy.
Devin, you had a breakout performance. It was literally a fantastic day for all of us. It was a record-breaking performance for the team. So you stood out where your entire team stood out. But if you would, you guys comment for me on two guys, one word or whatnot, but comment on Maurice Rocket.
Explosive.
Fast. Like, kid just runs downhill and he's got a motor on him. And he's patiently waited for his opportunity, but this game he got his opportunity and he showed out.
He did a great job. I think that was a lot of fun. He was a highlight reel. And
yes,
I think we had some highlights there that you guys might have seen earlier. Thanks to Ed Cole putting that together for us and Tim to air that. But you guys, congratulations on a really spectacular season.
Thank
you don't want to get to
Appreciate
the end of the year and always have that same cliche or that emptiness of being unfinished business. You guys went all in, and the dominoes didn't fall our way, but you know that the future is incredibly bright, and you guys are a big part of that, and will be a big part of that going forward.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
You bet. Ed?
You summed it up really well. The kids played their tails off. It's unfortunate we're not getting on the bird this weekend, but you took care of business, won 5 straight, took care of absolutely just dominated Wayland Baptist and did what you could do. After that, the chips fall where they may, and unfortunately they fell not in our favor.
And I want everyone to know I'm a company man, and Michael Butterfield is going to join us next. We're going to take it to the mat, and we're going to talk a little wrestling. Do either one of you guys wrestle? Always trying to add one more talented body to Michael Butterfield's staff. So you guys available?
Well,
no, stick to the gridiron?
Yeah, they always told me to wrestle, but I just never gave it a chance. I don't know. Not for me.
Coach, you could use these guys, couldn't you?
Butter's like, man, every football player I get in, I got to do so much teaching, and they just don't get what we do, and so that's the beauty of it. But DeAnte Livingston, big body, appreciate you. Stay healthy the rest of the way, and Devin, dude, breakout performance for you. Say hi to Shea Morales for us, and you guys stay close to the program, and we'll see you real soon.
Will do.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you, fellas.
Michael Butterfield joins us next. We're going to take it to the mat coming up next on the Storm Report. Welcome back to the Storm Report. I'm Kevin Derryberry. He's Ed Cole, and joining us on the set, we're going to talk a little wrestling here at Arizona Christian University. We do so much on this campus. We play so many sports, and we are always evolving as a program, and wrestling has been on the map here since I've been around, but we just haven't had a chance to talk about it. And now we're privileged to be joined by Michael Butterfield, our wrestling coach, now in his first year. Welcome in, Michael. How are you, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
We're doing fantastic. Obviously, we're a little pumped up, but we just talked with all the football players and had a whale of a season under Coach Jeff Bowen, and Ed and I got a chance to be a part of it, call the games, and now we're going to just take our attention and place it towards the wrestling mat, and just a different sport, right? You talk about, we want to get some people that know about wrestling on campus, and the event center, we do a lot of things in there. It's not just tumbling and playing basketball, but we wrestle in there, and we get after it too. You just came off of your first 2 victories here over the weekend. Congratulations on that. Tell us about the weekend and how successful you guys were.
Yeah, the guys came out, we have a really young team. A lot of our guys, probably 80% of our guys are freshmen or sophomores.
Okay.
And so about 2 weeks ago, we started the season by driving out to Fresno, and we wrestled in a junior college tournament out there. I brought 15 guys, and 8 of them ended up placing, and we had 1 champion.
Wow.
So that was a great start. And after that, we looked at this next week. Hey, we got some important duels. We're going to have Corbin, who's a conference duel. Midland, is in the receiving votes portion of the rankings for wrestling at the moment.
Okay.
And we came out ready to wrestle. A lot of what I do is like day before we do a lot of match preparation. Hey, I want you to get in the mindset. A lot of wrestling is mindset. And, hey, get in the mindset that you're going to go compete right now. So we do that the day before. We do that the day of. And, it's been paying off. They came out ready to go. We only lost 3 matches against Midland. We only lost 3 matches against Corbin, yep. And so in wrestling, there's bonus points, pins, tech fall, major decisions. So the more you win by, or if you get a pin, that's bigger points for the team. And we just about 90% of the matches that we won, we got bonus points in. And that's what I told the guys is, hey, you got to go out and you got to get bonus points.
But you credit that to the mental approach, the mental preparation, the visualization before it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. In wrestling's a very spiritual sport, and I tell them, everybody focuses on the mental and the physical. If we add the spiritual piece, it's going to strengthen the other two pieces. And so that's something that, I feel so lucky to be here at ACU, where it's a priority in our program. We talk about it on a daily basis. We have spiritual meetings. We talk about it in the room. We talk about it in the van on the way home. Like it's stuff that plays into what we do on the mat, which, like I said, I think the kids feel lucky to be able to do that too. So.
Spiritual enrichment.
Absolutely.
There's nothing better than that, EC.
And, Coach, for you, how enriching is it for you to come here? This is your first year here with ACU, and you're building relationships with these young men. We talked about you maybe have a dozen freshmen. You talked about the youth movement that you have on your squad. How enriching is it for you to get to these young men and help build them mentally and spiritually? What does that do for you as a man?
Yeah, wrestling is such a relationship sport. I literally get on the mat with them and wrestle with them on a daily basis. That's why I look the way I do right now. But no,
he just came from work, folks.
Yeah, but it really is. It's such a relationship sport, and they're not the only one benefiting out of this relationship. I get so much fulfillment out of what I do. Not just the wrestling piece, but, my whole culture that I'm driving home this year is champions through Christ, champions in life. And it starts with Christ. And then if you do that, someday your wrestling career is going to end. As far as, professional wrestling, there's the USA, world circuit. But, that's a very small percentage of wrestlers that get to do that. Someday you're going to give back, and someday you're going to, be a person that is going to be, somebody in the community. You need to be a great person, that can give back to your community, not just a great wrestler. Everybody loves that you're a great wrestler, but it's the man that you are and who you are afterward that's really going to matter. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
We talk about fraternities, Mr. Butterfield, and you are obviously entrenched in the wrestling fraternity.
Yeah.
Ed and I are entrenched in the broadcasting fraternity. Tim's entrenched in the SID fraternity. We go on and on. Robert, what are you entrenched in? I know Robert does a lot of great things
Robert's
behind the scenes here. He's into everything. But where I was taking that is that it's a different fraternity, right? If you would, how do you bring people into the wrestling fraternity? How do you sell the sport?
Oh, yeah. I'm a wrestling junkie. I really am. And
so when you say junkie, do you like the World Wrestling Federation? Do you like the stuff that we all think is
no
crazy, or is it just you go Olympic style and you take it into Arizona State and you have a different approach to it?
My son's Saturday morning cartoons are like the Olympics and things like that. So yeah, no, but no, especially wrestling in the state of Arizona. I grew up in Illinois and I went to college out in Iowa. I wrestled at a Division III school out there, and it's really a part of your communities. And football and wrestling especially go hand in hand. And so that's what I did growing up. And, I started teaching and coaching out here. And my big thing now is hey, we're one of a handful, literally one handful of college wrestling programs in the state of Arizona. We have such a golden opportunity to not only grow wrestling in our state, but in our community, in the city of Phoenix, Glendale. To have a NAIA program in a city, that's not very normal. Not a lot of NAIA programs are, in big cities. So we have such an opportunity to grow our sport in our state, and wrestling really is taking off in the state of Arizona. Girls wrestling in the state of Arizona is taking off. So, I coming in immediately, I wanted to, hey, let's build off the state of Arizona, and really, get kids from high schools in the valley. Hey, come wrestle in college. Come continue your career. Give back to your schools. That's going to grow wrestling altogether. So yeah, no, having a wrestling program here, we're in our third year, and we're doing great stuff. And I think a lot of our team being from Arizona and other states, but, really speaks to, how wrestling out here is really starting to grow. It's awesome.
Has it been challenging for you to recruit during that? Your first year was kind of a COVID, under a COVID umbrella almost, if you will. It's just been a big challenge. How has that affected your recruiting?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hit you this season, Coach. You had to cancel a couple matches because of COVID, and it's just that adversity that you have to face that Kevin was talking about, the toughness of taking over this program in a pandemic in this life that we're living right now.
Yeah, I took over right at the beginning of June and really hit the ground running as far as recruiting. I went to Fargo, North Dakota for the freestyle and Greco-Roman national championships and really touched base with a lot of wrestlers in the state of Arizona.
Some big dudes, right?
Yeah.
Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
Different style of
I
wrestling.
was a Greco guy myself, believe it or not. So
You couldn't possibly.
Really?
Yeah.
You then you've changed your diet then, Coach.
So yeah, no, and just recruiting out here, my connections with wrestling coaches in the state of Arizona is where I started. And, just having those connections, and here's some coaches that I know really well that we already have a relationship. They know that if they send their wrestlers to me, there's going to be, some good follow through.
When I was growing up, and if you wanted to talk wrestling, the conversation had to include the University of Iowa,
Yeah.
Iowa State, Arizona State was in the mix, maybe a couple of other Southern California type schools, but the prominent name was Bobby Douglas.
Yeah.
Do you know Bobby Douglas?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
know the name?
There's a workout
So
named
Bobby
after him.
Douglas was one of the most revered wrestling coaches of our lifetime, no doubt about it. And he was a coach at Arizona State for a long time. When Bobby Douglas was at ASU, they were a dominant wrestling program.
Yep.
When Bobby Douglas was at Iowa, they were a dominant wrestling program. Wherever Bobby Douglas goes, that's where people have success.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious if you ever had any, interaction with him and what he means to wrestling today.
Yeah, no, Bobby Douglas, man, his, what he did at Arizona State especially is still having an impact out here to this day. Having a, national championship team during the Gable era was like an accomplishment in itself.
Without question.
And I'm actually a Hawkeye fan myself.
Okay.
So, and then he goes out to Iowa State, and he was one of the most dominant coaches out there. It's like wherever he went, there's like a lunge, like a jump lunge workout that you do, and they're called Bobby Douglas's,
Okay.
and they're really tough.
How about Zeke Jones? Zeke? You know the name Zeke?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
These
He's doing a great job out there.
Okay.
They have a top 10 wrestling program, and so that's another cool thing is, just having, 2 programs right here in the Valley. They're doing big stuff too.
You get OUAZ and Life Pacific. That's the next scheduled event. What could we expect if we were trying to sell the program, invite somebody to come down to the arena and to check it out? What would you give them? Give us the pitch.
Yeah, I mean ACU's on the move. So our wrestlers are unbelievably talented. You can imagine.
Give us a few names. Give us some guys that we could look out for.
Yeah. So at 125, Marcus Morales this last week, he started competition and came out and pinned his opponent in like 25 seconds.
And I'm guessing that's really, really solid.
Yeah.
25 seconds.
25 seconds?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's quality right there.
Yeah. No.
Tim's giving us that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Trevor Downey at 141 pounds. He's teching or pinning every opponent he's wrestled so far this year. He beat a couple D1 guys out in Fresno. Carlo Castanaro at 165. He's explosive and, it's fireworks when he wrestles. Jacob Vieira, Bernie Garza at 174, Christian Cornice at 184. He's a transfer from Sac City. He won the Fresno tournament, and he's 5-0 at the moment.
Okay.
V.A. Ely at 197, and then Alejandro Mosqueda at heavyweight. He ran a 270-pound man across the mat on Saturday. So you can expect all that, and what's awesome is we're going to wrestle both those teams, and then we're going to have our backups wrestle. So really, you're going to see our whole team wrestle on Friday.
So this whole making weight thing, like if you're supposed to be 175 and you're 177 and you wrestle tomorrow, you're in no man's land,
You
right?
got some weight to lose. Yeah.
And that can't be easy either. How do you do that?
It is never easy, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. The first cut it's like that Sheryl Crow song, right? The first cut's the deepest, or the first cut's the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so the first one's the hardest. You got to get it out of the way. And then once you do it, I always tell the wrestlers, there's a difference between weight cutting and weight management. If you're within 6 pounds, you're managing. Honestly, we lose about 5-6 pounds of practice, just sweat, honestly. And, if you're over that, you're cutting. And if you're cutting weight every single week, it's going to take away from your wrestling. You're focusing more on oh, I need to lose this much. Oh, I need to wear this much while I wrestle. And then that takes away from your technique during practice, takes away from your ability to go hard because you're drenched and you're dead. So I tell the guys, like, we talk about diet a lot. And, I tell the guys, having the tower here on campus is an awesome opportunity. There's some awesome food they can eat here. So just like getting it down, it's a process. And luckily, I'm not teaching them. That's more of a high school thing to do.
Okay.
And now at the college level, they all have some experience. If they were successful at the high school level, they've done a little bit.
Gotcha.
And so my big thing too is some of these freshmen, sophomores, they're still growing. They're going to be growing until they're 20, 21. And so that first year, Coach Kelly in the weight room here and DST, they do an amazing job of, putting together a lifting program for our guys. I want you to get big and strong and go wrestle and have fun. And then down the road, we start, really dominating and putting some goals together. Hey, things are going to happen. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Coach, you've got a couple really good assistant coaches with you, Nathaniel DeSantiago and Benjamin Callison. Give some love to those young men and what they mean to you to help you do what you do as the head coach of the ACU Firestorm wrestling team.
Yeah, Coach Callison, so he's my head assistant. He came from the Iowa Conference as well. He wrestled at Central College in Iowa. And he actually does a lot of work with youth ministry and wants to be a pastor one day.
That's
so
great.
Just as far as like a spiritual guide for myself even on our team, he does an amazing job. We talk a lot about like wrestling to glorify God through competition, and like wrestling is such a great way to do that. So he really, he enriches me spiritually. You talked about spiritual enrichment. He does a lot for me as well. And just, his level of technique. His dad is actually one of the most successful wrestling coaches in Arizona State history. And so he's still coaching a successful program out at Castile High School out in Queen Creek.
Fantastic.
And so, Coach Callison is amazing. He does a great job, really gets level with some of our guys. And Coach DeSantiago is, he's a dog. He's tough. and so he comes in and he's ready to wrestle on a daily basis. And he wrestled at Phoenix Christian High School and played college football and baseball. But, man, just as far as, like, the level in the room of, like, hey, we're here to work. Let's get after it, things like that. He does a great job. And then I also have 2 volunteer assistants, Cody Davis, who was an All-American up at Embry-Riddle. He now lives in the Valley and goes to church here in the Valley, and I got connected through another coach on campus with him. And then Jimmy House, who he also wrestled here in Arizona, but he does, like, jiu-jitsu competition, like, throughout the entire nation. And so his wrestling, jiu-jitsu, those go hand in hand. And that's another thing, like, after college wrestling, jiu-jitsu is a professional level that you could look at. Things continue after that. So just even having him connected with the kids and having opportunities after wrestling is cool for them too.
Martial arts, UFC, there's kind of a lot of new avenues and more
a lot of wrestlers in the
opportunities
UFC.
for people. Coach, you mentioned we're speaking with Michael Butterfield. He's the first-year wrestling coach here at Arizona Christian University on the Storm Report, Episode 10, as we close things up here. We mentioned Friday night, inside our barn here on campus on 1 West Firestorm Way. It'll be OUAZ. We know all about the Spirit.
Yeah.
And Life Pacific College. We don't beat up on them as much, but it's personal with OUAZ. We get them in our barn on Friday. And then you go to the Doug Moses Open, and it's Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
It's Las Vegas, New Mexico, but still.
Yeah.
Vegas is coming up, and it's right around the corner.
Vegas.
Yeah, and that's a Division II tournament. So that'll be a really – my whole view is I want – your season competition to be tougher than, conference nationals. I want you to wrestle the national tournament multiple times throughout the year. So just having some Division II competition is going to be great for our guys to go get some stiff competition, get after it, travel, go through that whole process
Right.
of cutting, while traveling, all that stuff. It's going to be good for us. So.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot about yourself, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I turned 30 the day before that, so.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you'll go in at what I'm sure a svelte 175 and then just stick there, right there. You okay with that?
Myself?
Yeah, just whatever. I'm just having fun with that
Yeah.
weight, but
Hey, you nailed me.
175.
Yeah.
That's Michael Butterfield. Here's Ed Cole. I got to get this in before we part ways here. Special thank you to Robert Nilson and all that he has helped us and his contributions with the Storm Report. Of course, Mr. Tim Gilson, how he's helped us put this show on. From what we gather, everyone around around the campus, and our global viewing audience is enjoying the Storm Report. So we look forward to that. I got 2 weeks. So we're going to take Thanksgiving Day off, and we're going to come back in 2 weeks. But I have to mention this to a couple guys. Steph Kruk, appreciate you, my friend. Coach Sean Cooper, love you, brother. Keith Thomas, Brett Nelson, Barry Bain, our kicking coach, Jerry Ladensack, Keith Sewell, Ben Harris, Todd Williamson, Art Alfred, Dave Shelton, DeJuan Perryman, Aaron Price, Sean Corcoran, all you guys, magnificent job. Enjoyed all of your interaction on the football field. You guys had one whale of a season. Let's give these guys some support. It's Michael Butterfield, and we look forward to seeing what you guys can't do on the mat, and we wish you guys success going forward, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
We look forward to it.
Thank you, guys.
I think that's it for us. You guys have a safe and happy holiday, and we look forward to talking more ACU football and more sports around campus here in 2 weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Until next time, so long for now.